Let's be honest, if you're still stuck in a rank, it's not just because of bad teammates, it's you. My name is T-Bots. I'm an Immortal Valorant player, and I have been playing since Episode 1 Act 1. I've reached Immortal pretty much every act since Episode 7. In this video, I'll break down the 5 biggest mistakes that are making you unable to rank up, and how to fix them, so you can finally rank up and see that shiny red screen. Let's get into it. The first mistake I see in every single rank is what I like to call going with the flow of your monkey teammates. Let's say your team pushes A main on ascent with no comms, the enemy team throws a one-way smoke in A main, and instead of pushing out, you all sit there like a bunch of idiots staring at smoke. What am I supposed to do? I hear you think. Behind a one-way, most of the time, there's someone holding it, like a Jet for example with a dash up. How do you counter this? You can tell your Omen to flash the A main line, or tell your Sova to drone through the smoke to spot anyone. After this, your duelists can easily take the free space and carry on. The same thing goes for any other places you go on the map as well. Trying to go mid on ascent, but you know someone ups short A. Tell your smoker to smoke short and your Sova to dart bottom mid. The point I'm trying to make here is that most ranked players you encounter aren't thinking about what they're doing. They need someone to activate their brain. Think of every teammate as a child. You're trying to cross the road with them, but every time you let their hand go, they wander off. What I'm trying to say is that every time you don't tell them to do something, they'll just go back to autopilot and do whatever, which is why it's important to tell them everything they need to do. Here's an example of what a good rank push sounds like. In this round, Boaster is playing attack on split and trying to IGL his team. You will see how, before they even do anything, he will tell his team a strategy to make sure they take fair fights and they don't die alone.
We'll just do a B main hit again, but like 2 lurk. So let's say Jet lurks with Reyna. Oh, actually no, Brim lurk. You got nothing. Reyna, have you got a flash?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here he asks his Reyna to come with him to sell the fake, as the Reyna has a flash, and that way they might think they will enter.
Yeah, we'll need that. We'll do a little fake arena right now, and then you guys can find timing. Right, flash now, Reyna. Don't go though, don't go. I think it's a bit too risky. Wait for the smoke to go. There we go. Come split with us, boys. I'm knifing close.
Wait.
He could be backside. Backside, Brim. Easy IGLN. Locked. Sight down is locked, stream. The site is locked.
It's not about screaming strats, it's just about having a plan. Even if they don't listen 100%, giving your team a direction already wins you the round half of the time. And remember, even a bad decision is better than no decision, because at least you're taking control, so don't be afraid to make calls, learn from them, and you'll instantly start improving. Let's get into the practical side of things. I'm going to be harsh. Your aim doesn't matter if your positioning is trash. You could have tens his aim with bad positioning, and you wouldn't be able to win gunfights. I'm going to teach you 2 things. On angles and off angles. On angles are angles that people will pre-aim instantly, meaning they will have the advantage. Let's say you're holding this angle on ascent B main, and an enemy swings you. They will be able to kill you easily as their crosshair is already directly onto you. This is where off angles come in. They are spots that people don't automatically pre-aim, which is why you can catch opponents off guard. These angles are great because it becomes hard to clear every single off angle, as in order to clear every off angle you will have to expose your shoulder to the possible angle. In order to counter the off angle, you would have to use utility, such as a Sova drone, a flash, or a wide swing, as this fucks with the enemy crosshair. So to summarize, great positioning makes bad aim look decent. Bad positioning makes cracked aim useless. Play smart angles, use cover, and stop giving them free kills. Another great tip is to get used to jiggle peeking corners before fully swinging. This lets you bait utility, gather info, and avoid walking into an operator and dying. If you're not trading your teammates, you're throwing rounds. This is one of the most important tips that I still see people not implement in my Immortal games. When your duelist entries on a site and dies, your first reaction should be to swing and take that kill back. Every time you let someone die without contesting, you're giving the enemy a free 5v4, making it very hard to win the round. So stay close to your teammates, communicate if you die first, and let your team know where you died from, so your teammates can get the trade and the game is still winnable. I say this once again, hold your teammate's hand like they're your own son or your daughter. By the way, if you're the duelist and you die without anyone behind you, you just speedrun being useless. On the flip side, if you're the one hiding behind your duelist, watching them fight 1v3 while you sit in the smoke waiting for them to die before swinging out, you're playing like you're watching a YouTube video. Trading is not a side quest, it's literally the core mechanic of ranked. If your teammate dies alone, you both fumbled. The 4th mistake is having no actual plan before the round starts. How many rounds have you played where 4 people walk to B, no one smokes, no one watches flank, and no one even knows who has the spike? That's not bad luck, it's low elo habit. For every round you should ask your team, what's the plan? Or you could come up with something yourself. Even something simple like, let's default, let's exec B is miles better than chaos. Here are some things you can pay attention to help you understand where to go. Now ask yourself, who plays where? Most people think, Cypher on B, let's go A. But what most people don't realize are Cypher trips are really easy to break, and most of the time if there is a Cypher on B, he is the only one playing Cy, meaning if you can break his trips by shock darting them, you can easily get Cypher free. Another tip is always looking what ults enemies have online and what they are planning to do with it. For example, you are playing defense and see a KO has his ult. They know your Cypher plays alone on B. They might try and push B with KO. How do you stop this? You could just ask your Cypher to play A and leave his trips on B. Before a round, you can always look what ults people have online and think about who you might run into. Mistake number 5 is one of the most common mistakes in every rank. Utility usage and wasting utility. You see, utility isn't something you throw just because the round started. If your flashes don't clear angles, your smokes are late, or you die with full utility, you're wasting your kit. In higher ranks, utility wins fights before the gun comes out. Think every time before you throw your util. Use it to clear angles, to delay an enemy push, to set up. Utility with purpose is what separates the smart players from the aim bots. Let's say you're playing Sky on Lotus. Instead of throwing a random flash like this, throw a flash with purpose. Like let's say when your team is pushing A and you run spawn, what you could have done was throw in a flash around this corner on A to blind any enemies pushing, giving you the advantage of knowing if someone is there or not. Another example is you're playing Killjoy or Cypher on Lotus. You're on defense. Instead of putting all of your util on one singular site like C, you can put your alarm bot or your trapwire on B for info. What you could do as well is put a Cypher cam deep mount to hear enemies at the round start and calm the info. Same thing goes for a Killjoy turret. The key takeaway here is that your utility shouldn't just be used out of habit. It should have a purpose every round, whether it's for early information, slowing down a push, or just forcing the enemy to second guess their decisions. Your setup should be intentional. A common mistake players make is placing their utilities same way every round without thinking about what their team actually needs. Instead, think about how your setup can support your teammates. Cover weak spots on the map, or make it harder for the enemy to read your defense. Even small adjustments in your utility placement can give your team a huge advantage. Alright, so now that you've seen the top 5 mistakes and how to fix them, how do you actually implement all this in your own games? Here's a quick way to start. Pick just one mistake from this list that you know you're guilty of. Maybe it's not making calls, maybe you're always dying with utility. Now for your next 3 ranked games, focus only on that one thing. Seriously, don't worry about winning, worry about fixing that habit. Write it down, say it to yourself before each match, make it your goal. Because improvement in Valorant doesn't happen by accident, it happens when you're intentional. Once that first habit starts feeling natural, come back to this video, pick the next mistake, and fix that one too. One fix at a time, and I'll guarantee you'll start ranking up faster than you think. Now you know what to fix. Thank you for watching my first ever video on YouTube, and if you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could drop a like. Subscribe if you're serious about leveling up your game. I've got more guides and ranked breakdowns and in-depth tips coming soon. Let's help you hit Immortal. For real this time.
Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase